The Whine and Cheese Show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheeese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Cheese. One is a wanker, one's like it stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Hello, welcome to the Whine and Cheese and Metaverses show. This is episode 42.
42, it's just me and you.
This is me and you. Perfect. Wow, you're good at this.
And should we say straight up, it's going to be the me and you show for the foreseeable future?
Yes. And, you know.
Why?
Why? Because I'm going crazy. And I'm doing, not that I'm not crazy already, but yeah, it takes time to do the NFTs. And I need a little bit of a break. I'm almost caught up. I still have about 2 or 3 to go.
That's a significant part of it, but it's also we're at crunch time with the outdoor decor shop for Upland. So,
yes.
You know, that's taken a significant chunk of our mental focus, our in real life time focus and everything like that too. So, yep.
And I'm planning to do with Ben and D-Tech something extremely fun and cool. And I hope you guys will enjoy it. I'm not going to say it yet. I'm going to reveal it next week. I'll reveal it on Tuesday for the EDU podcast and when I'm on the Uplando show.
Oh, very cool. Now, we will still do sicko challenges every week, but it's not going to be the get your Morecheeese NFT for this episode thing, because like I said, it's going to be the Whine and Cheese show for a while. So just to let Cheese get caught up and to let us focus on getting Samurai Aquatics all sorted out and good to go, because it seems like we make 2 steps forward and we go 3 steps back with it. We're doing really good, but yeah, the more we do, the more questions it raises and the more work that shows up. So and we've currently got D-Tech chained up in the basement, like literally arting away.
Yeah, and I'm soon to be chained up down there with him as well, because oh my God, it's so exciting. I just want to tell everybody everything, but I can't yet. But it'll happen. It'll happen.
Can you do a little sneaky peeky of what he just dropped? We allowed to do that?
Of the umbrella?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not yet. Not yet. Maybe Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday. So could be, come to the EDU podcast if you want to be there and see it live.
Or I think we might have done some sneaky peekies in that last Samurai Aquatics meeting we just put out too. So
maybe. True that.
Maybe. Yeah. But actually the extra work that D-Tech and you have just done to set that up even better, like I zoomed in just before, and the detail on it when you zoom in like really close is just incredible.
Thank you.
Anyway, we're not supposed to be talking about that stuff.
Should we talk about Upland, or do you want to dive into some?
What's happening in Upland?
What's happening in Upland? You got me. Well, I mean, all right. So I really like that one event that they have. They have a lot of of these little events, I guess, to hold us off from now until A, cars are more available, B, Rio, and C, outdoor decor, which I can't wait for. And I wrote something really nice for Ben in the community challenge. He wrote something nice for me. I don't know if the contest is still out, but if you really want to share something nice about someone who helped you out in Upland, leave something there. It's not about winning. It's just about, making somebody feel good. And it's a great kind of thank you to somebody who helped you out. So make sure you do that.
Yeah, for sure. yeah, we know that Rio is coming up, and a lot of people, when there's a new city kicking off, that they want to go all in on collections. What's your take on collections in Upland at the moment?
Well, so I think collections right now are still important. But I think with the coming of outdoor decor, it's going to maybe almost fizzle a little bit if they implement, like they said they would, the neighborhood ratings.
Yeah.
So like, let's say, for example, we have Midtown Terrace and we have it all built out and we have outdoor decor on it. Like that's going to count for the neighborhood rating. Like people are going to want to get, like, I have a feeling that that's going to be the next stop after that. And if these neighborhood nodes or community projects are done very well and are, you know, pimped out in a sense where it's got a very nice look with the outdoor decor, the apartments, everything is good and whatnot, it's active, I think that there's going to be a lot more collections, and like the standard collections are going to just kind of fizzle a bit. And I think that's maybe something that Upland wants.
Possibly, yeah. The whole thing with the ratings is that's gonna have to come after the whole governance system is sorted out, and you know, nominated residences and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's still ages away.
Oh, you do?
For me, yeah. For me with collections, I gave up on collections as soon as they dropped the dividend rate. I don't mess with collections at all. City releases, I got no interest in going after them. But that's because my account is established. You know, if I was a new player trying to build my, you know, my portfolio or whatever, I'd still be going in to get those collections when I can. But it's kind of tricky at the moment now. Like, I wouldn't go all in on collection speculation. I'd wait until after the collections are revealed, and there's all these undermint collection fire sales. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, if you're FSA, then I say that's a great idea. And like right now, like you said, to your point, collections aren't that great, but if you're FSA and you get it, you could flip it, and that can mean everything to your future and your portfolio, and like you could just take off from there.
For sure. All right, well, while we're on Upland, maybe I had this to do at the back end, but maybe we'll just bang it out now, as soon as we're on the Upland topic. You know, it's no secret Cheese and I are all in on Upland, and a lot of the stuff we do, we always reflect back to Upland. But it's very interesting to see I've done a search here in the news, Upland Metaverse news. Now, the latest article that shows up is from the FC Porto Soccer Club signing from 1 to 2 weeks ago. Before that, it was about the cars. And the same thing if you search Upland Game News, same thing 2 weeks ago. If you search Upland NFT News 2 weeks ago. Upland is not in the conversation as far as Metaverse, NFTs, that sort of stuff at all in the mainstream media. Why do you think that is?
Sorry. I think it has to do, like, I think we need to get off our butts really and write some articles. Like they have a lot of outlets out there where us little people can go and you know, kind of write our own articles and put them out. I don't think we should be relying 100% on Upland, or like people can you know, start blogging about stuff. Like I know we have so many communities that do so much work in their discords. Why not put that energy, and instead of, you know, making videos, make some blogs. And I play a lot of these phone app games, you know, right before bed. I have my usual 3 that I go through to do all the little things before I go to bed. And a lot of times you have to watch like an ad.
Oh yeah.
And every single time it's always Upland.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because I've just got myself hooked back on the mobile game Adventure Capitalist.
I used to play that. I used to play that.
So did I years ago. I'm well and truly hooked on it now. So I'm watching ads every couple of minutes, and it's always about like online casino games. I've never seen an Upland ad.
Every single one that I get is Upland, and I'll tell you the ones I play.
I wonder if that's geo-targeted because the main kind of market for Upland at the moment, the main player base is US. I wonder if that's deliberate.
Could be, maybe.
Mm.
Maybe, but it's I got this thing Bitcoin miner, and before you say anything, it does actually, give you money. Like it has this wallet, VV wallet or whatever it's called. And it's like capitalist, adventure capitalist and whatnot. There's also what is it? Such a stupid game.
The best ones that hook you in usually are.
A Lamar idol vlogger. And last but not least is Hero Zero. And I play that from the Wombat thing, and I really like that one. But yeah, just about every single article is ad is Upland. It was soccer for a long time. Now they're showing, I saw a new one for the first time last night for Rio, and it's really cute. It's like a llama dressed up in a suit or a casual wear in a plane, and he's looking out the window, and you see Rio coming up, and it says Rio's coming to Upland, yada yada. So
that's the only thing I can think is that it's geo targeted. Because I've never seen anything. I'd think I'd fall off my chair if I saw an Upland ad.
Wow, that's so weird. That's bad. Huh.
I wonder how long it is before, with these sort of things, especially back in my game development days, it was always the game developers that I used to knock about with. They were always really excited if they saw their game out in the wild, like if they were on the subway or something and they saw somebody playing their game. That was just like the ultimate kick-ass moment. I wonder how long it's well, you don't get out much, so maybe not for you, but I wonder how long it's going to be until like I'm at the shops and I'm walking past somebody and I see them, collecting the dividends from Upland. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I would jump on them. I would have to calm myself down. I don't know how to act sometimes when I get excited. I'd be like, "What are you doing? I played it too. Tell me you must be friends."
Scare the shit out of them.
I'll scare the shit out of them.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point. You mentioned that about the blogging situation. The only person that I know that does any sort of semi-regular blogging about Upland is Nitrin with the Dog Patch blog. But even that's
is
probably
that public
maybe
though, or is it just in his Discord?
No, he pimps it out there. I think it might be Medium articles, so I think it is out there. I'm not sure.
That's good. We need more of that.
Yes, maybe that's a job for Pappy or somebody in the UDU that's looking for a job.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Go and I was going to say talk amongst yourselves while I go and put that in do stuffs, but.
Oh yeah, and you'll go ahead
here.
and I'll try to find some peer-to-peer articles that kind of allow outside, like regular Joe Schmoes and Jane Schmoes, to just kind of go in and submit articles and whatnot.
Cool. Done. All right. Speaking of articles, should we dive in?
Sure.
Alrighty, this one's a classic. NFT marketplace OpenSea fires 20% of its staff. You're fired.
You're fired. I mean, OpenSea,
obviously,
let's get real. Like, they haven't really been doing great. I just remember all that trouble that Mighty Lil had, Lil Creations.
Yep.
There's no customer service. It's just kind of like a go in and do your thing, and if you're lucky you can sell something.
Yes, so imagine, look at this though. The world's largest NFT platform OpenSea is cutting 20% of its workforce. The information comes directly from CEO Devin Finzer, who tweeted a screenshot of a Slack message he'd sent to the entire company staff on Thursday. Imagine that you didn't see the Slack message in your staff, board or whatever, and you get onto Twitter, or as you go to bed, just like you said before, just check things? Oh, I've been fired. Pretty hardcore. And obviously
Yeah.
this is in response to the crypto bear market.
Oh, wow.
The changes we're making today put us in a position to maintain multiple years of runway under various crypto winter scenarios, 5 years at the current volume, 5-year crypto winter, and gives us high confidence that we only have to go through this process once. Okay, so well, maybe it's not that doom and gloom. They've obviously expanded as it's all been in the bull run. They've chased that with the expansion, and now they're pulling back. It's interesting. Like I was going to say, I hate to always go back to Upland, but I don't really, because I love Upland. It's interesting that the Upland team seems to be growing exponentially with their team and looking to continue to expand, even though I think we're only at the very start of the bear market that's to come. I don't think we've seen anything as far as crypto price drops yet. I think there's way worse blood to run in the streets. So
You think so? I don't know. I think it's kind of lifting a bit. I mean, unless like we get some more incredibly horrible news from the economy or whatnot, or like war related, but
what are we looking at here? Bitcoin price 21,000. Yeah, 21,000 US is still, that's huge price. Not that I'm a financial advisor, but I'm expecting that to come way, way down.
What is Matic? I'm doing so well in Matic. So well.
I was just gonna have a look at this chart first. Maybe you can pull up Matic on your end.
All right, let me see. Yeah, but I mean,
stupid zooms in the road. There we go.
So you see that chart? It's up, it's down, it's up, it's.
Yeah, I think we still got a ways to come down yet. It's kind of seems like it's hit a bit of a support line there. Yeah, not that I'm much of a chart reader, but I always zoom out as far as I can. We shall see. But yeah, I'm expecting more. That's why I'm just dollar cost averaging, just still chipping away every single day. Nibble, nibble, nibble.
Nibble, nibble, nibble.
I'll jump out of ears. Did you want to show the Matic one?
I could just say it real quick. Whoa, yep. It's 0.71.
71 cents.
Yes. So like I'm up almost $300. I just dabbled. I bought 1,000 shares at 45 cents. And like I almost doubled my return so far.
Yep.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just nibbling away. It's the first crypto I've bought in, what did I say, 2 years or something? So,
yeah,
just little by little, bit by bit, nibble, nibble, nibble. And then once we start to turn around, then I'll either reduce that or just cut it off completely and just write it out. So we'll see how we go.
Well, it's the first time I'm banking on something to go up.
Yeah, normally your day to day, you're all about the blood.
I know, like I'm all about the blood.
Yeah, so since OpenSea doesn't, we'll just get back to this. Oh, my laptop's having a hissy. Since OpenSea doesn't disclose the number of its employees, it's unclear exactly how many people are impacted by the cuts. But after this story was published, OpenSea told Engadget that the company now employs 230 people. So that's quite small, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't say too much negative about it because I have sold a couple of things on there, and I was one of the lucky people that didn't need to go through the customer service process. But I know people who have been waiting months to get like a reply back. I'm 38. I'm looking at the advertisement.
Well, it looks like they've done the right thing anyway. It says that the company is offering 12 weeks severance pay, accelerated equity vesting, and 6 months of healthcare. So,
all right,
it hasn't just been a you're fired and check your later situation. So that's good. Now you found this you found this next article, Cheese. Like the last few weeks or whatever, we've talked about, this company's investing 5 million in the metaverse, and then it was the 18 millions, and then what did we talk about last week? 50 million or something. Well, how about this next one that Cheese has just found? Shanghai aims to grow a 52 billion metaverse cluster by 2025.
At
Now
least
we're
some
talking in
regions.
the tens of billions. And
I
this is the
mean,
government of the city of Shanghai. It's one city is investing 52 billion.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I think they know they know what's to come. They're grabbing the bulls by the horn and they're running with it.
You can't even. It's hard to fathom that number, and what that could do.
Yeah.
So it says the government of the city of Shanghai has proposed a group of guidelines to help it shift into a metaverse power. The plan of action defines each one of the technologies that the municipality needs to focus on to achieve the goals of building a 52 billion metaverse economy, while at the same time helping to establish 10 innovative companies in the area. Wow.
Well, this is the race. Like I don't dare compare it to the space race. But it's
that's
a
a very
virtual
good
space
comparison.
race. It's a virtual space race.
Yep. I think that's a very, very solid comparison.
And they want to get there. They want to get there before anyone else, especially like the US. And they're going in hard.
There you go. Look at that. To this end, the city plans, like we just said before, the city plans to house at least 10 innovative leading enterprises in the metaverse industry and 100 companies that present metaverse-related technologies, all of these with international reach.
Yeah.
That is a lot of cheddar.
That is, but they want the best of the best. They want the best of the best. It's going to be cool to kind of, read more about this in the future and see how it evolves.
Yeah, absolutely. So the document proposes a series of tasks to achieve this goal, which includes adding a digital component to different activities and sectors, such as the existence of virtual businesses, education with virtual reality, and tourism and entertainment with a virtual element. So they're covering all the bases there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just mental. So yeah, they're investing in the technology, including display and processor tech, some of the core technologies that should be advanced to achieve a better metaverse in the future. In the same way, data transmission technologies like 5G and artificial intelligence are also mentioned in the plan.
And look at that, South Korea is interested as well, getting in with 177 million metaverse related projects as part of the new digital deal. Dubai.
I'm pretty sure we covered that. Yeah. Yeah, Dubai. I mean, the money that's over there is just incredible. So
I would love to see, I love Rio. I'm dying to get some property there, but I would love to see places like China, Japan, South Korea, because it's they're very. What do you think about Shanghai and its metaverse goals? Tell us in the comment below.
Yeah, I think it's epic. I think it's one of those snowball things. Like an investment like this is going to encourage other companies that may be toying with the idea to think, hang on a minute, no, we need to seriously look into this. Otherwise, like you say, we're going to miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy cool.
Crazy cool. And I closed that other article, didn't I? Don't close the articles, Ben. Otherwise, you have to go and find them later and copy and paste them in. You idiot. Okay. Now, speaking of investment and the future, this next article, exit the internet, enter the metaverse. Your online future is in 3D. Venture capitalist Matthew Ball's new book explores the three-dimensional virtual world that is set to supersede the net. What might this alternative digital reality have in store for its users? Maybe you can speak to this. You're talking about Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Those are all the buzzwords at the moment. What's this on about, Cheese?
Well, just from that, if I had to kind of like say something vague, I'd say like web one is basically just looking at something like this article. You can't really interact with it. Web two is you would be able to interact with this article. Web three is, you're in the article. You're you're like kind of like immersed in it. And I'm guessing what this is pertaining to is like you're not in web 2 anymore. You're in a sense where you can go in and you can kind of interact with things around you and play with it.
Yeah. So this kind of outlines what they classify as a metaverse. So they're saying it is a persistent network of 3D spaces, almost everything online today, all applications, digital operating systems, web pages, works on common protocols and technology that connects with them. The metaverse is a 3D evaluation of the online world, which spans augmented reality, unseen virtual simulations in the world around us, as well as much of consumer leisure and socializing. Yeah, so it's about taking all of the stuff that we already have on the web and that sort of stuff and just making it more immersive. And then there's also the extra elements of gamification, monetization of content and interactions and that sort of stuff, building your online identity and interacting. So the metaverse doesn't imply virtual reality. Yeah, it's not. That's what we keep saying. The metaverse isn't just like, you're not going to just have a headset on. It's going to be about so much more than that, with online shopping and that. And here you go. Look, you said this just before we kicked off, Cheese.
Yes, and we have an article about that. I'm dying. Like, all right, this is going to sound so greasy of me, but we have to be transparent. We have to be honest, right? Like, I can't wait. Like, these kids spend so much money on stupid shit. I want to make some of that money. Like, and I don't want it to be like don't take credit cards from your mom and dad. Just whine and complain until you get it. And then I'll take that from you by making something really awesome and cool. And
I've got firsthand experience with this. Like, all three of my kids, now when we talk about birthday presents, Christmas presents, 2 years ago, it was all about, I want this or that Lego set or this or that book or this or that Switch game. Now all they want is the top-up cards.
Yep.
I want a Minecraft top-up card. I want a Roblox top-up card. I want a this, that, and the other top-up card. They want the ability to engage deeper in these games and platforms and to have the currency to do that. And yeah, they're not, at least my kids, my wife and I go to extreme lengths to, get them to appreciate the value of money, because, we're not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. So we have to be severely budget conscious and that sort of thing. So we have these conversations with them, and, it can be a situation where the kids, if you're just going to the ATM, the hole in the machine, and pulling out money, or you tap in to pay, like, I haven't had actual physical money in my wallet or on my person for at least a year, possibly even 2 years at this stage. If somebody gives me cash or something, it's a major pain in the ass, because what am I going to do with this? I now never go to the bank and that sort of stuff. So yeah, they need to appreciate that it's not just a piece of plastic and you can do whatever you want, because that can lead to all sorts of dramas later on in life once you can apply for a credit card and that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. It's both awesome and scary at the same time. As a parent, speaking as a parent.
Awesome if you don't have kids. Scary if you have kids.
Yes. But you're right. Like, the amount of money they spend on what we consider as crap, but what to them is, immense. Like, exactly. I have these conversations all the time in my professional life as a kindergarten teacher. Like, you see this a lot with new staff. If a kid's having a meltdown about something, and to us, it seems like an insignificant, just dust yourself off, mate, that's nothing. But to them, it's like whatever has happened, that's the end of their world sort of thing. So it's all relevant.
Yeah.
So yes, taking it back even further than Minecraft, online virtual world Second Life is often held up as a proto-metaverse. What distinguishes it from the real thing? Maybe you can speak to that, because Second Life is not very user-friendly.
It's exactly, it's not.
Yeah.
And you like, sure, you cater to the geeks and the nerds and those who will want to learn about it. I recently installed Second Life for the first time, and I was able to navigate it pretty easily. And I see where it, like, if you get something that you can wear, it goes into a file system, and you're not going to want that. You're going to want to be something that everybody can just pick up and just run with,
Yeah.
or else you're not going to get everybody as your market. Let's see, but what's also important is comparing it with today. Second Life is at its peak around 2006, had a few million monthly users. It's quite possible that right now Roblox has more on the platform. Part of that reflects substantial improvements in the ease of creation. Yeah, my niece was able to create, she's 10, but this was a couple of years ago too, to create a game within Roblox that people could play on.
There you go. That says it right there. Look.
We've gone from something that amateur and professional hobbyists can do to something that an infant can do. And like, that's literally correct. And so in Second Life, we see not just a lineage of the metaverse, but we can also track the trajectory. Over time, the capabilities of these platforms grow, the time and reach of these platforms grow, and as does their economic value. Second Life really has to dumb it up.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have heard this kind of angle being talked about too. There are some who believe that this is the end of nation state civilization and community. So,
but all right, think about it. In a sense, I hardly leave the house, right?
Yeah.
I'm big into Upland. What did I do recently that really brought me out of my comfort zone?
Yeah, you went to
I went to
Las
freaking
Vegas
to meet people that I play in a game with.
And you don't even have to go to that extreme. Like, how far would I go back? What was it? Maybe 15 years ago. I hadn't really left Australia. I'd been to a few, island hopping spots and that sort of stuff, but there was no real major. Well, the internet was there, but it wasn't like it is today. Like, I went to Japan. I did these things when I first moved to Japan. It was basic flip phones and all this, that, and the other thing. If you got lost, you had to ask for directions. Your personal bubble was quite small around you. Yourself as an example, like you say you don't go out much and all that sort of stuff, but think about the connections that you have now all around the world. How wide now is your circle of influence? I don't know the right word there. Your interests, your influence, the fingers of cheese are spread far beyond, your apartment sort of thing. And that it's kind of, everybody used to live in villages, right? Back in the day, this was your village, and you knew the 20 people, 30 people in your village, and you didn't like the people in the other village. And if they came over, you'd have a fight and whatnot, or you'd do this, that, and the other thing. Now it's, then it kind of went to countries. People were traveling a lot more internationally, so that kind of blurred the lines with, that sort of stuff. But now
you don't have to.
Kind of means nothing. It's like the idea of like what's going on, not to get too political, but what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine as far as like a hot war and that just seems so dumb. Like, seriously, what are you doing? Most of those people speak the same freaking language. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Especially when we get things like Google, like the advances that have happened with Google Translate is incredible. Like, sometimes I'll get into conversations in the Upland German channel, or I think I was in the Dutch channel, and some people are like, Yeah, it is clunky in some respects, but some people are like, hang on a minute, I didn't know you speak German. And I send them a screenshot of what I'm using. I'm like, I don't, mate. And they're like, whoa, I didn't know it was that good. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better, definitely.
Yeah, so, no, it's all very interesting. And that's cool too. We're at the stage in which we don't have conventions. There's no English, there's no USD, there's no metric system, there's no intermodal shipping container. And so when we want to share in the virtual world, we often can't. So it's a bit tricky. Maybe this one's important. What real world problems does the metaverse actually solve? Well, in many cases, if not nearly all, having a 3D immersive environment is a more intuitive and productive way to communicate information and ideas. Humans did not evolve for thousands of years to touch 2D interfaces. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting concept, yeah.
Well, I mean, people who, like, when it gets to it, you put your metaverse goggles on. People who couldn't really walk or are in pain or can't go places or have issues, like they can actually do this in a metaverse world. You can convenience for those who can, like if you're doing something and you want to do something else, it's like just you all you have to do is just bring it up and it's right there beside you.
I think it's the 3 C's. Now I've just written these down as you were speaking then. I put down communication, connectedness, and then you said convenience. You know, it's yeah, if you think about like my grandmother, my last grandmother passed away just recently, and she lived far away. It was kind of a difficult thing. She would have moments of mental clarity, but they would be very fleeting. My auntie at the time was there with her, and I'd say, "Oh, can I call up and speak to Nana?" And she'd say, "Well, there's no real point because she's not here at the moment." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if it was a situation where she was having, I guess this is like an extreme example, but if there was an hour there where she was extremely clear and there was some way to quickly get in touch and, you know, be able to, I guess we kind of got it with FaceTime and that sort of stuff, but being able to do that on a different sort of level would be cool.
Yeah, imagine like just putting some goggles on her and she's in your living room.
Yeah.
Right, that would
like
be
that,
amazing. Like if she's bedridden and she can't really move around, she's there in your living room and she's looking around. You got a new house and she's like, you're giving her a tour. Like, I don't know, that's just so amazing. That'd be so cool.
And you've got mothers and fathers that are FIFO workers, you know, fly in, fly out, where they might be away for 3 weeks and back home for a week. You know, what they can do for as far as keeping up with their kids and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I think it's all very important. And then that's not even touching on, you know, remotely working from home and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't think we'll dive into that too much more deeply, but yeah. But that's the key. Your online future is in 3D. There's no, like what we've been saying since we started the show, there's no escaping it. That's where we're headed. Especially when you got companies spending 50 billion, or cities, sorry, not companies. So yes. And this is kind of adds on to that point. Retailers are setting shop in the metaverse. We've spoken about this at length. There is a well-known saying when buying property that the 3 most important things to consider are location, location, location. But if you're online, if you're on the metaverse, well, where is that location? It's kind of, you can be anywhere you want to be, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of this article?
What was the name? The heading?
Yeah. Retailers setting up shop. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And it's like, all right, let's say you're in a mall, in the metaverse mall, and you want to go somewhere. You could either walk there and just window shop, or you could just kind of probably click a few things and you're right in front of there.
Yep. So while for many people this all sounds fanciful as far as metaverse goes, a growing number of companies are buying up space in the metaverse so that they can set up shop there. These firms include the likes of Adidas, Burberry, Gucci, Tommy Hilfiger, Nike, Samsung, Louis Vuitton, and even banks HSBC and JP Morgan. So yeah. So this goes back to what we've been saying, like, if it's kind of funny, like the Sandbox, you want to live next to Snoop Dogg and whatnot, but if you're in Upland, you want the physical representation, the virtual representation of what you have in the physical world. So, if you're Adidas and you own an Adidas store in Manhattan, well, chances are you probably want to buy that store in the Metaverse. At least that's the growing theory that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Again, here it says Metaverses that mentions Sandbox, Decentraland, Voxels, Dominion Space, MetaZone, Horizontal Worlds. Again, Upland not in the mix. Why? We are
Because I think they're they're not so much out there yet, whereas you can actually go in and walk around. Like, I think I think Upland just dipped their toe into it by bringing in the racing and that whole nother layer too. I think it needs a lot more involved before people can start really, so like, plus Meta's own Horizon worlds. Like, yeah, I
just don't get it. I just don't get it, because the whole selling point of Upland, or one of the main selling points, is that it is mapped to the physical world. Well, Sandbox, Decentraland, those are all just imaginationary worlds. So it's kind of strange. Perhaps it's the sleeping giant that we all hope that it is. What are you getting squirreled on?
Sorry.
Yes. Here we go. So maybe you can read that one.
The idea for such retailers is that your avatar can pop into a Metaverse clothing shop and buy items to be sent to you in the real world. Or alternatively, you could treat your avatar to a new item of computerized clothing.
Now, this goes back to our friend Half Moon Jazz. Like, she's doing NFTs of jewelry and this, that, and the other thing. Plus, she's doing it in the physical world. So yeah, it's this is where we're headed for sure.
Yeah.
So you might buy your Louis Vuitton, whatever the hell it is, your bag, and plus you get an NFT of it so your online avatar can have it as well. So just interesting. I don't know. I'm not going to dive too much into that because we've been talking at length about this.
But it's like, one more point to make. So it's like just another kind of callback to the Roblox thing. The stuff that they would buy, they wouldn't be able to sell it. It would be something that they can wear, but and maybe even give away, but they couldn't sell it like an NFT.
Yeah.
So like, I wouldn't mind giving my niece or my friend's daughter some money to buy something that they can actually hold, let it gain value, and then sell it for profit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's tricky then, isn't it?
So like buying a Louis Vuitton for your avatar would only kind of like, if you bought a certain one that is of a collection and people really want it, and you bought it for like maybe $100, and then later on it's worth $1,000, like that, I wouldn't mind, because it's an investment,
And yeah, speaking to that too, it's again, it's strange why Upland is never in the mix, because the Upland economy is incredibly stable. Like, it's one of the core strengths of it, even in the bear market. Like, nothing has really changed within Upland. Like, we have our own sort of mini economy within the game, and we have seen sales slow down and whatnot, but the overall stability of the entire platform is immense, where other metaverses like Sandbox and Decentraland that have their online their cryptocurrencies tied to their platforms, the prices have plummeted. So here it says late last year someone was reported to have spent $450,000 for some real estate next to Snoop Dogg's Sandbox mansion. Well, in this market, the actual value of that would have plummeted.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it does go back to, we only lose if you sell, but still, it's you have to ride that mental wave. You know, if you know that the property that you own has dropped to, I don't know, for shits and giggles, say 50K, you spent 450K, now it's worth 50. You know, that's a lot of mental baggage to take on board.
450,000. That is fucking crazy. What if Snoop moves? What if he's like, oh, I don't like this pixel box I'm in. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah,
Fucked.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play, chasing things like that for sure. Especially when you have, you know, the entire metaverse is tied to a external cryptocurrency that's traded on the open markets. Yeah.
If I had a property that was
dangerous.
next to someone big and they moved in next to me and somebody was like, oh, can I get that for 450,000? There is no hesitation. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If for half of that, yes.
Yeah. It's a tricky one.
God.
All right, moving on. Now you found this one as well. Samsung launches Space Tycoon Metaverse experience. What's this about, Cheese?
I have no idea. I'm just kidding. So they want to start their own metaverse. So, all right. So they announced the launch of Space Tycoon, a metaverse-based experience built as a part of the Roblox world. So they're partnering with Roblox, and even Space Tycoon. It intrigues me. You know, it's like, ooh, like I want to be
sounds like a mobile game.
Yeah, but in the
Miner
metaverse.
Tycoon, Space Tycoon, yeah.
So the game in Metaverse, which is directed to entertain Gen Z users, will feature a world in which Samsung products can be constructed by picking their fundamental components. The experience will also include a shop for buying in-game items.
So it almost seems like a, what do you call it? What's the Tales of the Crypto? What type of game is that becoming? Where you got to find all the things, like this says you need to find components to construct Samsung products. So it's almost like not mining, that's not the correct word, but kind of like a treasure hunt sort of thing. It sounds like you got to find all the different pieces and then you'll be able to put something together for it. So
like a scavenging based game.
Scavenging, that's what I was looking for. Yep, thank you. And I just realized too, neither of us can pronounce Samsung.
Samsung.
So that's interesting. A massive company like Samsung is essentially creating a mini game to go within the Roblox world.
Because they know where the money's at, and it's little shitlings. Big companies are now focusing part of their efforts on creating enticing metaverse-based worlds as part of their strategy. Samsung, the electronics company, is launching a metaverse world construction. We read this. The virtual world will also offer the opportunity to purchase items for the player's avatars from the shop, which is genius. This experience is directed towards a younger audience, which will have the opportunity to learn about the brand and its products. So basically, it's getting money from the kids while brainwashing them to learn about their stuff.
You say brainwashing, devil's advocate is they're building brand loyalty, basically, is what they're trying to do.
From little sponges.
Yes. So no,
little sponges.
What did you say before? You want to suck some money out of them? Well, this is exactly what they're setting up to do. So.
Yes, I want to take advantage of them as well.
Yes. So no, very cool. I don't think we need to dig into that any further because it makes sense. And like we keep saying, this is just the leading edge of what's to come for sure.
They're also in Decentraland. The company also launched its store in Decentraland, one of the most popular metaverses. Whatever.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Look, Samsung, you got it, man.
There we go. Like it. So we've got gaming in the metaverse. We've got fashion in the metaverse. We've got sports in the metaverse. What are we missing, Cheese? Segue, hinty, up the top
music. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I'm one of those. almost boomers that really used to enjoy live music. And I mean, this definitely does have a place, and I could definitely see it.
Yeah, it hits home for me because like I used to go to live gigs at least once a week back in the day. But you know, you get married, you have kids, or this, that, and the other thing. You've got a job, all the pressures kick in. If I was to go and see a gig now, to try and go and see a gig now, it's a major logistical mission. You know, you got to
Yeah.
get babysitters, you got to get there, you can't drink, so you got to get Ubers and all the rest of it. It's basically a huge drama and a headache. Being able to set up something metaversey or that, yeah, it appeals directly to me. Yeah, so here we got a Coldplay and BTS hologram performance on The Voice in December show the potential users of augmented reality in live performances. Well, I don't want to really see hologrammed freaking douchebags dancing around.
They're like the most popular band in South
Coldplay.
Korea. No, BTS.
Wet Fish, more like it. I hate Coldplay.
Well, there was two songs I liked of them.
It's all yellow. Oh, piss off, mate.
That's not the song.
Easy listening music drives me mental. That's funny. Easy listening just enrages me, but like black metal calms me down. So it's quite a trait.
I like Fix You and The Scientist.
I got no idea what that is.
Yeah. Open your world, Ben. Open your world.
I'm very closed in my 80s metal universe. Thank you very much. Although this was a kind of newish project that was an awesome one setting up to be, but failed.
What?
My shirt, White Empress. That was the lead guitarist from Cradle of Filth set out to do his own band project, but that all kind of fizzled and died.
Cradle of Filth.
Unfortunately.
They saved my life.
Yes, I love your little posies. So what's happening here? What does this actually mean? Music in the metaverse. What does that actually mean?
I don't know. I'm not like, I guess MTV. We used to have music in the metaverse, and then MTV became a reality show hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you can put on a head thing and kind of be there. But the thing is, like, is it the same thing? I may just be an old person talking is what it is. I think you like this more than I do.
Well, here we go. Look at this. That's exactly the question we're asking.
You're trying to understand what this new medium is. It's like a traditional music video. Is it like a live show? Exactly. I don't know what it is.
In-app AR performances are just one of many approaches to the idea of bringing music to the metaverse, combining the thrill of crowded live events with the massive potential audiences of online platforms. Now, what did this say here? Miss Wu, head of XR designs at Encore, makes computer-generated settings for augmented reality performances, which fans watch within the Encore app, paying 10 US cents for each clap.
Wait a second. All right, so wait. If I clap, the more I clap, I get 10 cents for every clap?
It can't be. Hey, what's your job, mate? Oh, I clap the shit on the internet.
I fucking clap. I'll clap. I'll do it. How many times can you clap within a minute?
A shitload, I would imagine. You can predict the future. All these people end up in the hospital because their hands are red raw from
just like that fart. Just
from
oh
clapping.
my god! Just like that farter girl NFT.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yeah,
and
no,
then,
that's interesting.
And then cheaters will have like this clap bot that will just kind of like make the sound.
Yep. Yeah, like your clickers and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The forced isolation of the pandemic saw a flurry of attempts to bring gigs to people's living rooms, from YouTube sets to entire virtual festivals complete with jiving avatars and sound and light shows. Often these attempts didn't quite hit the mark. It turned out the multi-sensory buzz of a packed venue was hard to replicate. Yeah, of course, you're never going to be able to replicate being in a crowd with thousands of people who are all there and, you know, loving to see the show and that sort of stuff. You're never going to be able to fully recreate that.
So here's what I would like to see. This is what I would be intrigued to see. If I'm sitting down in my living room, and instead of putting me into a crowded room with a stage, make the band appear right in front of me and play.
That's the difference.
And I just sit back and I'm relaxed and I'm eating my popcorn, and you know, Aerosmith is just there, and you could see like the Joe Perry solos, and you know, you do like Steven Tyler's.
How does that solo go again? Sorry, I missed that solo. How does that go again? Oh my God.
Or Metallica, and you can see like the crazy. That I would love that. You know, that would be cool.
Yep, and it goes back to the fashion again. Like if you bought a certain T-shirt or whatever and then like in the real world, then you're going to be able to reproduce that when you're in the crowd. Very interesting. Especially you're talking about if you're watching a concert and there could be AR experiences where you have a pop-up to buy merch and all that sort of stuff. Yep. Or maybe, you know, it could be a pop-up. It's very common nowadays, meet and greets. Like a lot of the money that artists make, yeah, sure, they sell their tickets, but they also make a shitload of money where they do certain VIP meet and greets. So if you had a pop-up saying, do you want to purchase a meet and greet? And then you do a one-to-one session with the band or whoever it is, like afterwards in a virtual setting.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. So
I would never do that because I would never know what to say.
Yeah, well, that's funny. Going back to Cradle of Filth, as part of this White Empress project, I was in the street team in Japan, so I went posting flyers everywhere, this, there, and the other thing. And as part of that, I spoke to Paul Allender, the guitarist who used to be in Cradle of Filth, and no, he was not a childhood hero because, you know, I was in my teens when I first discovered him, or early 20s and that sort of thing. But it was kind of weird, but. It was very quickly, he's just a dude. Like what are you up to today? He's like, oh, I got to go to my painting job. Like he's like full on international rock, you know, heavy metal rock star, and he's just a regular dude. So it was pretty cool.
Funny.
I read this one. I like this one.
But the metaverse isn't only big-haired avatars in tight-fitting t-shirts. It can also be a more subtle blending of virtual and physical worlds.
Yeah. And then this point is interesting too when it comes to haptics.
Haptics, is that kissing thing we did an article on?
Well, it doesn't have to be kissing, but yeah, any sort of glove or like that. Yep.
That's where augmented reality AR comes in. For example, have you ever used a Homesware app to test how a table or couch might look like in your home? Or pointed your phone at the sky to discover different constellations? That's AR in action.
Now match that with haptics, and not only can you test how it looks, but you might be able to feel how it looks.
You get a little air burst on your butt as you sit down on the couch.
Yes. Yes. I think this is the meat and potatoes here. So where music and the metaverse meet. Recreating anything like the feeling of attending a live event would be difficult. At the very least, it would require many technological breakthroughs, including photorealistic 3D imaging and accurate hand-to-eye tracking. Yeah, and of course, sensors play an important role. Sydney-based consultant in the Metaverse said that includes touch, smell, and even taste. Yeah.
Well, you know what I would love, absolutely love, when they bring in cafes.
Yep.
To the Upland.
Yep.
Like let's say you have your avatar and you're walking in there and you see everyone and you're there having a beer with Zoe, and I'm like, oh look, my freaking friends are there. And I go over and I'm like, yeah, Diet Pepsi, please. And we're just all talking at a table with our avatars, and D-Tech comes in and he's like, hey guys, I have some ideas for outdoor decor. And we're like, all right, cool. And then like, we're just talking, and that would be so freaking cool where like we have our headsets on, and I know it's going to be a layer 2, and somebody please create this. Like, I have a feeling if Upland's not creating it themselves, that would be so freaking awesome and amazing. That might be a meta venture. That will be a meta venture.
It will be,
Upland, come on.
Yeah, and think about things like when you, DTech, and I are if we have a breakthrough, like we'll be able to do virtual high fives. Go team!
Hey.
Yes, we can go full nerd mode.
Oh yeah, I'm dying to do that. I'm dying to keep the freak out.
So we kind of front-loaded the article because here it says the multi-sensory integration of spatial audio, scent, and connection of haptic suits with experiences would bring it to the next level. Absolutely.
I would so splurge for a haptic suit and just do, like, we could do, there could be a country western cafe, even though I hate that, where they teach us how to do that rodeo dance.
Yep.
Two-step, I don't know what it's called, but imagine you're in your suit standing in front of your freaking computer and you're doing this freaking dance with each other. Like I'm bumping into you and Zoe and
yep. Get out of the fucking road, Cheese.
So you're cut off from any more Diet Pepsi.
Yes. Yeah, and we do know here it says last year, for instance, Justin Bieber donned a motion capture suit that translated his movement onto a digital avatar and danced to a soundtrack of a few of his hits at a concert attended in the metaverse. Yeah, it is clunky. It is kind of maybe a bit cringeworthy at the start, but this is brand new technology.
With cringeworthy. Like I love a good cringe every so often.
Yeah, and we talked about this chick here. We talked about that in a previous show. What's her name? Megan Thee Stallion, is that her name? Where she did one and she was twerking and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's all happening.
Well, I mean, to go there, to take it there.
Or maybe it was her, Charlie. Yeah.
Sex clubs, not sex clubs, strip clubs, where people don't want to get COVID, but they want a lap dance with the guys. Like you hang out on your couch and you just kind of go to the club and you pay with your credit card for a dance and the haptic suit.
I mean, we've joked about like the sexual connotations of this all for a while, but we know that the porn industry front loads a lot of the technology and pushes it forward. So that is coming, pun intended. Pun intended. So we shall see. We haven't really heard a lot about that. There's been no real articles have popped up for a while. It's all kind of sort of jokey, tongue-in-cheek stuff. So
maybe they're waiting for it to become more established.
Well, imagine like this whole thing, like we're talking about live performances and strip clubs. Well, what about a site like OnlyFans, or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Like there's people doing OnlyFans making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars showing their feet or something. Oh, I don't know.
Wait, feet? Crazy. I have pretty good feet.
Apparently that's the thing. Apparently that's the thing. I don't know. So yeah, it's definitely going to happen.
I know Uplando could get into that too because he painted his toenails pink and he's always talking about it.
Oh,
I'm sure some ladies would wait for to see his feet.
I don't think it's ladies. I think it's creepy old dudes. I don't think there's many ladies interested in people's feet. You never know, though. I shouldn't.
They're probably just a little more discreet.
Yes. Now we're kind of running out of time here. We need to kind of get a move on. So let's kick this off. Now this is something we've also talked about. As far as I always blank on that. What is it? What's the name of that game that had NFTs? Every single time I blank on it.
Game. Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon, yeah. So we had Ghost Recon bought out. They just suddenly introduced NFTs into their game. The community backlashed and they ended up pulling away. Well, this article here says 34% of gamers want to use crypto in the metaverse despite the backlash. So yeah, according to Globant, 34% of gamers are interested in conducting crypto transactions in the metaverse, while 16 have purchased NFTs in the past. Basically, I would say probably as much as, well, not taking dividends into consideration within Upland, any of the any of the items, the NFTs that I bought in Upland, probably 95% of that has come with crypto purchase. Like actual fiat purchases is minute. And it's only been recently where I've been buying Spark and that sort of thing. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I guess what it is to make like a quick kind of opinion on this is people want to get something while they're doing something. Like
Yes.
me, I can game and not worry about getting anything. For me, getting something is leveling up. But
Yeah.
then I can separate the two. I'm able to separate the two. But there's people who are like, if I play this, what do I get out of it? And as we go forward, there's going to be a lot more people that think this way. So gaming companies are going to have to keep that in mind. The concept of play to earn P2E in the metaverse is also relatively well received by gamers, with 40% of respondents stating that they are interested in pursuing a mix of both the playing and earning aspects of the metaverse, while 11% indicated they are more interested in earning and 49% stated they are only interested in playing. Well, you have to think about it like, what's going to take a hit? Is the gameplay going to take a hit? Is it going to become so simplified because there's now an aspect of earning crypto? Because a lot of the games that you play are that involve crypto are very simplified. You have
And
the ones
horrible.
immersive and horrible, and then you have another open door for people who want to buy.
Yeah, I think the whole P2E aspect, that can't be the purpose of the game.
Yeah.
It has to be a benefit. Like if you had I don't know, I don't know what I'm talking about gaming because I'm not a gamer, but if you had if you had a World of Warcraft game, like World of Warcraft as it stands now is that, and gamers, like looking at it from an outside perspective, gamers are very click based and slow to not adapt, but I don't know. I guess they're very stubborn in a way. Like you have people that are console gamers, and I'm a console gamer, and PC gamers suck, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you had a World of Warcraft game and you can just play it and you do whatever, but if you had a game that was essentially the same thing, but as a benefit you can earn passive income, well, you'd be kind of crazy to stick to the one that you don't earn anything on. Although a significant percentage of people will continue to do that, but yeah, I don't know.
For me, it all depends on will the gameplay stay as good as it is, or will that take a plunge because of this new entry of play to earn?
Yeah, that as I said, that has to be the focus. Like the actual the earning the crypto, that can't be the focus of the game because that's not going to get the mainstream.
Well, it will be to a large percentage of those coming in just for that.
Yeah, but you're not going to get that mainstream swing unless the game can stand alone. You know, the game has to be a good game, whether or not it earns crypto at all or any sort of play to earn. So
it would have to be a separate, like for example, if you had Fallout, and then you had a Fallout play to earn, like separate it. You got to keep them separated.
Well, I don't think it need to be separated. Like most games have multiple currencies, so it could just be an additional currency that you can earn.
Well, then you have people in other countries farming this currency to sell it.
Yeah.
Because you even when it's not play to earn, like in the MMOs I played, you would have these people that worked in these like they worked actually playing the game to get gold.
Yes,
gold.
I know all about that. When I first moved to Japan, I think I've told this story before. When I first moved to Japan, I lived in a company apartment, and one of the first people that the company moved in to live with me was a guy who I think he's from Montana or something. He moved to Japan for a year so that he could mine gold in World of Warcraft. So he had to go to work. Obviously, the company pays the apartment and everything like that. But his entire purpose was so that he could focus on. He would stay up till God knows when, all hours of the night, mining freaking gold on World of Warcraft. Go to work, do his hours, and then be on the World of Warcraft the entire time. Like there was a festival, not just in our city, not just in our town, in our street. There was a big, massive festival, like awesome big Japanese festival, food, drink, party, this, that, and the other thing. I was like, Mark, there's a festival on. You want to go to the party? My wife, girlfriend at the time, we had to drag him out of there to go and do anything. And I remember it was probably a year later. We kept in contact for a while, but after he'd moved back to the States, he's sending me, oh, I really miss Japan. Miss Japan, motherfucker, you didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything.
There was literally at the end of summer, there was a sweat stain on the floor around his chair in the carpet because he just did not move.
How much do you even get paid for that? Because I remember like you would get these crazy amounts of gold for pennies.
I don't know. It just blew my mind. I in the end, you know, you invite someone to do something. Hey, we're going out for drinks. We're going out for dinner. And in the end, you just don't even bother. You don't even bother asking. Just like, see ya. Have a good night.
Oh, sweat
come
stain.
Come home roaring drunk and annoying the crap out of him. So, yes.
I'm going to have nightmares.
About sweat stains?
Yes.
Anyhow, I said we need to hurry up and I went wildly off on topic. So.
That was a good story.
All right, maybe we'll end up on this part.
More than half, 52% of gamers believe the metaverse will change the video game industry, and a plurality of 41% think that the metaverse will have a positive impact on the industry versus 25% who disagree. I'm in the middle.
Where you're in the wait and see.
Yeah, I'm scared. Because I don't take my play to earn games seriously. It's like, there's no, like, who cares about the story? Who cares about this money?
Well, that's a good point. Like we see some people in the Upland community have moved into, you know, they've essentially moved into the space as their income. And actually this kicked off on Twitter last night. I think it was, it might've been Nosif from the Red Hook residence, or somebody from Red Hook, the Red Hook node, posted a thing about how would you go about moving into Upland as your main source of income. So there was quite a good conversation on Twitter about that. So
well, he likes to put those questions out there to get people thinking. I know Loyal
good stuff.
was one that said he recently kind of went full Upland.
Yeah, and Masita said he quit one of his jobs to kind of devote more time to the space, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I forget what did I put up?
Me, I just want people to start buying my NFTs again. I spend so much time on them, people. 25 wax is nothing. Come on, support your local cheese.
Yes.
Support your local cheese. Like
Indeed.
a grocery.
So yeah, the tweet was, if you had to quit your full-time job and get into Upland full-time, how would you do it? If you had to make more than 10K USD or even 100K USD per month, how do you plan on achieving it in the coming years?
Maybe he's just looking for ideas. Maybe he's trying to get people to tell their secrets.
Maybe. Well, he was not going to like mine, because I said, as a father of 3 with a mortgage, there's no way I'd take a risk like this unless I was clearing basic bill costs with a buffer every single week for at least a year. Before tax, that'd need to be about 800 to 1,000 US dollars per week. And to achieve that, I'd have to undercut floors in sold out areas, which is not sustainable. So, and like you mentioned, Upland is my hobby. Upland is my entertainment. If I had to wake up in the morning with the pressure of, holy crap, I have to sell 200 USD worth of stuff today, otherwise I'm not going to pay the bills. I never want to go to that place.
Yeah. I hear that.
Otherwise, you've lost your hobby. If your hobby becomes your grind, it's, I don't know, too scary for me. Unless you're one of these things where you just make $1 squillion. And like we spoke to TD, where TD had a big win with the NBA Top Shots and that, and the other thing, which gave him the freedom then to kind of explore what he wanted to explore. So that's a different kettle of fish. All right, 2 more to touch on. What do we got? We got about 10 minutes, Cheese. Let's go.
Tony Hawk is building the Metaverse biggest skate park for a new NFT project. Now, this looks cool. It's actually interactive, and you can actually go in there and create your own skateboard park if you wanted. I saw the video and I saw like an example of somebody putting one together and then like kind of writing on it. That's pretty awesome and fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool. Tony Hawk Land will be a new space in the Sandbox Metaverse, so which bills itself as blah 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 amusement park. Yeah, so this is really cool. I think. I don't think we'll touch into this in too much
get
detail.
on it. It takes cryptocurrency to get on there, so there's so many opportunities nowadays.
Yeah, they're going to autograph or create NFTs based on Tony Hawk and his skateboards, equipment, and apparel. This is what I want to see in Upland.
Yeah,
Tony Hawk, bloody legits. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I want to see. Stuff like that.
The last paragraph in here.
Oh, sorry.
Made me excited.
This one.
Yes. So the virtual world has over 300 existing partnerships with the likes of Ubisoft, The Walking Dead, Snoop Dogg, Adidas, Deadmau5, the Smurfs, Care Bears, and Atari. Now, what about like so Upland had something with CryptoKitties, right?
Yes.
And Sandbox is a part of Animoca. So what's like? I just feel like Upland is still new, still coming out, still this and that. Yeah. I have a feeling that by the time the new year is here, we're going to see a lot of this. It's going to be a completely different Upland.
Absolutely. Especially like we have, like the buzz, like we said before, the buzz is all about Web 2 and that sort of stuff. The more of these sort of things that kick off, yeah, it is going to spread. I think, well, when we're talking this time next year in the Whine and Cheese show, yeah, the amount of stuff we're going to talk about is going to be incredible. Like, I think it's very smart that Upland is off the radar and they're still essentially building the core foundations that will support everything like this in the future. And it goes back to those of us that are in now, we just have to be patient. We just have to, have that long-term mentality and not invest more than we're willing to lose in the meantime, as some people have famously done. So, yeah. Okay. No, I think it's all very cool. Yeah, I certainly won't be going over to the Sandbox and doing this myself, but as you said, I hope this bleeds over into Upland and the rest of it. At the very least, it's going to get the word out there more about the entire space, and people will look into their things, and they're going to go out. They're going to go over to Sandbox and say, "Okay, I want to buy some land in this Sandbox. Oh crap, it's $19,000." And who was it? F and Smoke that was talking about?
Yeah.
Keeping it for the people, man.
For the people.
Yeah. So
you got to make it affordable. Like Upland is affordable. Like if you can get it, and there's so many, like the world, the earth is big. Like new cities coming out, blood in the street sales. You could get into Upland quite reasonably.
Yes.
So,
well, imagine like, sure, you could buy one plot of land in the Sandbox for $19,000, or imagine the kind of what you could set up within Upland for $19,000. Like, so yeah, it's all very interesting. Now, we've had all these kind of very positive articles, and Cheese and I always like to go to the dark side. And how's this one to wrap us up on? Hyundai imagines a grim future where metaverse artists live in their cars.
Well, I mean, it's a way to work. I know people who've had to kind of live in their cars for a bit. That looks like a really souped up
Looks
car,
like a
though.
fancy car.
Yeah, the people that I know who've lived in their cars were not that fancy.
No.
So what is this article about?
I like this. This was a good sub headline.
Virtual
trash
trash and show.
and no fixed address.
I love that, trashing.
New car events are usually pretty cringe, full of pointless pyrotechnics, emotional futurescapes, yada, yada, yada. Simpler times. So it is with some degree of hesitation that I must point to you this video from Hyundai as the latest exhibit in this ongoing series of car companies present depressing visions of the future.
Wow.
The video,
this is an exhibit. I love it. I love it.
the video, which was released yesterday, was intended to reveal the sleek-looking Ioniq 6, Hyundai's latest electronic vehicle, blah, 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 blah. Instead, we get a smorgasbord of buzzwords, trash and metaverse NFTs, ideally aimed at appealing to a youthful demographic, but going about it in the worst possible way.
Oh.
In the video, we're introduced to an artist named Mia, who's putting on a trashin show. For those not in the know, trashin is the art of repurposing waste and recycled materials, basically trash as a fashion. So, but I digress. Mia uses her Hyundai to traverse the eerily trafficless landscape looking for bottle tops and tarps she can transform into dresses and rompers and shit. None of this is particularly objectionable on the surface. Gen Z stand in with an unclassifiable career who loves zero tailpipe emissions. You can see how that probably adds up in the eyes of the faceless Hyundai execs who greenlit this production. Oh man, I love this writer.
Yeah.
So here you go, Cheese, take it away.
But things quickly take a dark turn for Mia. It is revealed that her hectic schedule, is she self-employed? It seems likely, but goes unmentioned, doesn't allow her enough time to take breaks, forcing her to sleep in her car. Hyundai claims that Ioniq 6 is the ideal place for a nap, calling it a mindful cocoon for single young urban professionals. The interior is packed with sustainable materials and dramatic lighting, God, with 64 colors from which to choose. The automaker says it was designed to be a healing space with its relaxation settings and speed sync lighting. This sounds like a cornflake car, like a quinoa car.
Yes. Setting aside whether Mia could get away with sleeping in her car without getting slapped with a ticket for vagrancy, the vision of the future that's on display in this video isn't the idealization of freedom that Hyundai thinks it is. To me, it conjures up images of Uber drivers and other aggrieved gig economy workers forced to sleep in their cars to make a decent living. Images of millennials and Gen Zers being forced to work long hours in service of the grind and other bullshit capitalist concepts. So with that in mind, it should come as no shock. Mia's trash and show won't be an in-real-life event, but rather in the metaverse. That's right. Her fashion ambitions don't seem to include the design and creation of actual in-real-life clothes, just outfits for virtual minifigs.
Wow.
Why else would she be doing all that driving?
Wow. Minifigs.
Another character in the Hyundai video, a social content creator named Joan, straightens her hair using her EV's many USB plugs as she gets ready to live stream about the VR trash and show. Again, we're presented with another hustling Gen Zer who doesn't have time to use her own bathroom to prepare, assuming she hasn't a bathroom to use. Yes. Like other car companies before it, Hyundai sees its latest EV as less a blunt tool to get from point A to point B, but an idealized space for a whole panoply of activities. This touches on the notion of what we choose to do with our time while being driven to our destinations in electronic and autonomous vehicles. Yeah,
well, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like
strange.
virtue signaling.
What's that?
Virtue signaling.
Virtue
it's
signaling.
like,
yeah.
Oh, I work so hard at the grind. I have to like do my hair in my car. Look at her. Like she's even doing. You ever see Schitt's Creek? With the
Yes.
we do. I love the sister. I love the faces she makes. The things she does.
Yeah.
Like I was like I have to sleep in my car because I work so hard, but I have a really
Yes.
nice apartment.
And there's a trap door there, so you can just shit straight onto the street.
They so don't live in their car.
Yeah, that's kind of hilarious. So that's heading went somewhere that I didn't think it was going to. So that's kind of cool. All right, I think we might wrap it up on that, Cheese. We've used our allotted time.
Yeah, and I still have use of you. So wait, let me get ready.
You're the one who's got to press the button.
I know.
Yes.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get fucked and right. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get fucked and right. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.